After spending over 40 hours on Enshrouded's new Wake of Water update, I can confidently say this is my favorite update yet. You can easily overlook the essentials though, or miss hidden mechanics, so today I'm gonna share 10 things I wish I knew sooner to help you dominate the Veilwater Basin. From powering up your own grind mill with water flow and locating rice, clever tricks to plunder temples, legendary loot farming, this guide has it all with all the golden pearls you will ever need. I would like to take the opportunity right here to say a big thanks to Keen Games, the developers, for making today's video possible and giving me early access to a preview build to make discovering everything I'm gonna cover today possible. If you haven't already, be sure to check out Enshrouded with my link in the description down below. Let's start with my first tip. I very much recommend you to establish your base right here first, as in the basement you can actually find some legendary equipment. Not always, but if you have some smart placement, see, we can always pick up that weapon right there. The basement itself would be an awesome one to have your alchemist and all the stations set up and ready, or you can place the beds for your townsfolk. While if we make our way upstairs to the base floor, let's say, this is, yeah, the living room. I know it's a little bit broken down, but in general, I think it's a pretty cool jungle-themed house, let's say. If we walk outside, this is where you can place your own farm. If we just walk up here, this is where I placed my first townsfolk, with also a pretty sweet balcony. So check out the old Hex Hut if you want to get an amazing early base without too much effort, only a little bit northwest of the passage to this new zone. One of the most important workstations in the new Wake of Water update is the grind mill, for which you're gonna need a working water wheel to generate force or power. Otherwise, it will simply not work. And it took me a pretty long time to figure out how exactly you need to set this up, but once you do, well, it's pretty simple. Visit the alchemist and craft the large or small water wheel, whatever floats your boat, and also get your hands on the mill itself. You're gonna need the improved millstone, which can be picked up in the first POI, called River Reach, which can be found just a little bit west from the passage to the Veilwater Basin. You're gonna have to craft a couple more things for a simple water flow, which can't be found at any of the townsfolk. A lot of beautiful decorations right here, but you want to make sure you check out a workbench itself. Don't go for manual crafting, but on workbench specifically, you will also find a water dispenser and wall or floor drains. Make one of each. You also want to pick up a couple building blocks. I'm just going to go with a regular rough stone blocks for this design. So now that we have everything, the grind mill itself, the water wheel, dispenser, drain, and blocks, we are ready for the build. The first thing we're going to place is a wall of 4x4. If you already have a base with a wall, then you don't even have to do this. But I like to go with a 3 wide and 1.5 high, let's say. This is going to be more than enough. What I do recommend you to do is place some walls around it, as this will help you prevent the water from flooding your entire base. I like to go with a wall of 2 high. Make sure to close it, otherwise everything is going to be flooded with water. Right now, what we're going to do is place a little platform right above it. We can do this with the standard platform, exactly like so, by placing 3 in total. The 4th one should be open, as that's where the water will just simply flow down. I'm also going to quickly place a couple steps, so it's going to be easier to reach the build. And also place walls around it, exactly like so. Close the end right here, which is gonna once again help you to direct the water to where it has to go. And that's already it for the building blocks. Right now we can place the essentials and it's gonna work like a charm. You're gonna start with the floor drain itself, because if you first place your water dispenser, it's gonna start flooding the place already. So we're gonna place it exactly like so, right underneath this little platform. Then also take your drain, place it on whatever height you want to have it. I like to just place it down there. Sometimes things still become a wet mess, and this is where you either want to place more wall or floor drains, or simply increase the height of the walls around the water itself. See, right now everything just works like a charm. We've got our water draining away and that's flooding the build. And now comes the final part, placement of your water wheel. This used to be pretty tricky on the early access build because it barely ever worked, but now it's became so much easier. Simply make sure that it touches the water. As long as the flow hits the side basically, it doesn't even have to be submerged, it's gonna work like a charm. I remember spending a lot of time on this, and it was essential to make it stick a little bit through your build, exactly like so. It was also necessary to be in touch with water below, but as you can see, it works in all ways possible right now. And with a grind mill placed nearby, you can make it work. So all you have to do right now is just throw some resources in there, and voila, it will start processing them. So now that your grind mill is up and running, it's time to gather some of the most important resources for the endgame, which are aquamarine, gold, and pearls, which you're gonna need to strengthen your flame and reach the highest level zones basically. Aquamarine, probably the easiest to find of all three, can be found in an abundance, especially in the northern part of the new zone. The blue crystals are easy to mine and shine bright, especially on sunny days. The rock formations right here are awesome to farm this specific resource, which happens to pop up all over the place. We've got another node right there. I mean, if I open the map, you can see that all these markers come with aquamarine spawns, so you will have a lot of those very close to each other. If you want to get your hands on gold though, you want to check out the rivers, as this is where it will naturally spawn underwater. I actually managed to find an amazing farm spot where you can not only pick up gold, but also the mothers of pearl. This is where I managed to find both a pearl farm and gold. You're gonna have to get your hands on the new mining tool though, as only then you'll be able to pick it up underneath the water surface. Unfortunately though, mother of pearl is not the actual pearl, which is far more valuable and difficult to get your hands on. As of today, it seems like the most efficient way to get your hands on pearls would be to simply target farm Drakdals, the new lizardmen, which you can find at many different POIs, but specifically Drak Temples, I think are going to be your best bet in finding a lot of them. Be sure to check out the town Orville from time to time, as right here you can also find many lizards. I think at least 15 to 20 spawns, which is going to make pearl farming a whole lot more interesting. Which can be found east of Lake Heartblood, where you also have the ancient spire of Veilwater Basin. Since we're already here guys, I also decided to place a checkpoint at this location, a quick travel, because it comes with probably the only and absolute best farm in the game for specifically rice. From this point, I can just simply jump down and pick up all the rice I will ever need. Rice seedlings to plant it at your own base, but especially raw rice, as this is essential for cooking endgame dishes. We can also find a truckload of corn cobs right here, tomatoes, forest beets, saffron, etc, etc. So you know what to do, visit this town every couple hours, as all the food will respawn and you can basically farm as much as you want, which is easily overlooked if you missed the POI, but right now you can finally make cooked rice, which can be turned into some delicious snacks at the farmer, especially the creamy mushroom spatzel, which comes with 20 stam, 9 stam regen and melee damage. You also have a rare variant, which actually becomes, in my opinion, less relevant. Let me know in the comments if you also struggled with finding the rice. Anyways, next tip, with this new update, a lot of new skills were introduced. Some make up for very interesting builds, while others can make your life a whole lot easier. The skill I want to talk about is called Dessert Stomach. This one gives you 1 additional food slot, so you can have a total of 4. With the introduction of so many new dishes and dish types, I'd say this is an essential one to pick up, which isn't necessarily new in the game, but this one is, ladies and gentlemen, last meal. Your food buffs will persist through death, but they only last half as long. I'd say this combination is a must for the end game, as right now we can eat 4 different snacks, and yes, this is gonna give us a ton of bonuses. The crab cakes, for example, last for almost half an hour. plus 21% damage against wildlife and wild beasts, a lot of extra HP as meat type. With the ginger tea we get more stamina and ice resistance. I've got the Kala Luna soup right here with mana and mana regen, and also the creamy mushroom spatzel. And once you've unlocked the coffee maker and found all the recipes for it, which I'm going to share in another video, you'll be able to find in the top right of the screen, you can actually brew all sorts of drinks which are going to be amazing for different builds. Black coffee, very nice for melee builds, the latte for magical builds, and sweet mocha for assassin or ranger builds. What I really like about the new update is that we now get next level exploration and temple puzzle solving. Sometimes these can be pretty tricky to complete though, while obviously we want to get our hands on the precious. Most of the times you have to solve a riddle to open the gate, but what if I told you that's really not necessary? All you need to do is swing your pickaxe against the wall or the door itself. From my experience, in all cases, at some point the door will break and the treasure will be yours. Still though, I very much recommend you to complete them in the legitimate way, as this gives you access to even more treasure. But still, if you're lazy and searching for a cheesy method to get through, well, this is it. It really can't get any better. I'm sure many of you guys are very much looking forward to crafting some endgame gear. The Golden Bulwark set is probably one of the most epic one, while I'm currently rolling the Sun Piercer set, as this one deals so much more damage with melee builds. You're gonna need a lot of these endgame resources for it. I already talked about most of them, like the Aquamarine and gold, but some also require capybara bristles, for which you're gonna have to obviously hunt capybara. So let me show you Capybara Paradise, where you can find an abundance of these little fellas, which is actually a little bit southwest of the ancient spire Veilwater Basin, exactly right here, called Capybara Oasis. Be sure to check out both sides of the river and also the waterfall itself, as this is where they're occasionally bathing. But in general, there is an abundance of these creatures right here. I think a beautiful spot. But what if I told you that there is an even easier method to securing bristles, which I only managed to find after plus 20 hours, which is a little bit west of the Capybara Oasis at this tree right here. You want to search for the entrance, not the big guy right there, but the smaller one. Follow the path to the south, and this is where you will find a hidden capybara hunting Dragdal camp, where you will find some dead capybara, unfortunately, probably poached in a brutal way. But especially make your way to the center of the camp, as this is where you will find a little pond with a leader. If you take him out, you will get some valuable resources, including a baby capybara, which you can bring to your base right away, or, as the description says, hold tightly in your warm arms. I think it's a pretty cute little baby right here. But I've got something far more interesting for you guys, which you might have already noticed in my bag, the miner helmet, as this one is probably the best piece of equipment you can get your hands on for the end game, which puts a diamond lamp on our forehead, but in general makes farming a whole lot more efficient. It's gonna reduce our stamina drain, the yield will be 15% better, so I'd say a must-have for farmers. The blueprint unlocked for me after I picked up a specific resource, which are the gleam roots, with which you can make gleam root dust at the mill. This is something you can only find during the night, but I've got plenty more right here, as you can see. I think an amazing farm spot for them would be near the Starfish Shores. Check it out in dark times, and these locations will 100% give you some nice yields. I'm already working on a ultimate fishing guide, which I'm gonna share with you guys when it's done. But if you're feeling lucky, I can already give you a nice tip, as one specific fishing rod hidden somewhere in the Oasis, the lucky fishing rod, gives you an increased chance of reeling in treasures. And boy, am I glad I didn't forget marking its location in the world, which can be dug up near the suspicious Dragdal ruin, which is found a little bit more to the north of the Veilwater Basin, pretty much west of the Lacemaker Pond. It's a place filled with not so friendly creatures, insects that can hit like a truck, so I recommend you to simply just hook them out of the sky and deal with them as quick as possible. Gain some height and search for the X. It's pretty hard to miss, and that's also when I thought like, okay, there has to be some treasure down here. When I started digging, I found the chest pretty quickly. You have to dig a little bit deeper, as you can see, but there we go. Inside it, we can find the lucky fishing rod. You can pick it up as much as you like, so you can basically share it with your friends. Share your luck with them, basically, and enjoy fishing in general. Now, one more essential tip before I leave you guys. More actually, because man, I can't wait to share with you where I managed to find this legendary axe. It's probably one of, if not the best endgame legendary weapon you can pick up on level 50 as well if you upgrade it. For it, you want to check out one of the endgame towns with the highest level enemies, so please do come prepared. But if you want, you can also pretty much cheese loot this item. So we're currently standing on a roof just a little bit west of the gateway outpost icon itself, which instantly brings us to this legendary equipment. Jump down, which brings you to this big storage room, let's say, where you also have an exit towards the north. But what you want to do is turn around 180 degrees and jump down into this little hole in the floor. And voila, this is where you will find a golden chest with always a golden war hero axe. Sometimes even a secondary item as well. This time the Spine of Dal-Zul. Very nice indeed. Simply check out this chest every couple hours and you will have an infinite amount of golden war hero axes and sometimes more legendary loot. You know what? Let's quickly check out another one with endgame loot that's gonna be awesome for legendary farming if you check it out from time to time, which can be found in the very western part of this world with also the skeletons at the front door. This is what we're talking about, the little lagoon and town called Stillwater Bay. It's gonna be a deadly shroud if you haven't strengthened your flame yet, but I think this specific gate is available for everyone. This one, with a little bit of cheesing, can also be opened super easily by just slamming the side. If the developers are watching, I do hope you guys fix this, as I don't know, man, it does feel a little bit broken. Voila! This brings us to another amazing chest with a high chance of containing legendary loot and also a red carpet block. This one seems to be there all the time, but don't leave the place just yet. Repair your equipment, and after that we're gonna take that pickaxe out one more time and smash through the rubble, as this actually brings us to the biggest prize, the legendary golden chest right here, with always, bam, a legendary item. And you know what? Let's do one more item, which is pretty easy to get your hands on. The Eternal Lightning Channel, which I'm sure many of you spellcasters are gonna find amazing, as you can then just infinitely cast as much as you like, which can be picked up at this little hidden ruins or tomb, let's say, which is actually pretty close to the ancient spire of Blackmire. That's how I was able to quick travel to it, by simply flying over the shroud right here. And then instead of checking out the tomb itself, you simply want to search for this grave, where you also have a letter fast as lightning. If you take out your pickaxe though and start swinging, voila! This is what will reveal a chest with the Eternal Lightning Channel inside. I currently don't have a magic build, so this is gonna barely deal any damage, but you get the point. It's gonna be an awesome one to get your hands on as quick as possible. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Plus 10 essential tips and tricks I wish I knew sooner to really dominate the Veilwater Basin or Wake of Water update. If you enjoyed the guide, please do leave a like, means the world to me, and of course share your favorite features in the comments down below. Questions, suggestions are very welcome right there as well. Right now though, it's 4 AM out. I would wish you a lot of fun with the updates. I'll check you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace.